am Katie. I'm a wife, mom, and I work full time. I love makeup and skincare. I truly believe every single woman wants to look and feel her best, and I have the tools and the resources to help you get there. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you the Tarte Shape Tape Foundation. I am applying the shade 35 in, which is a medium neutral color. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the product, and then I'm going to do a couple of different wear test application techniques to show you different ways you can use the product, and at the end give you my overall thoughts on the product. So let's get into it. So as part of my Tarte custom kit order several months ago, I got this foundation, and I have been really impressed with a lot of Tarte's foundations. I've not used this particular type. I've used like a CC cream, a BB cream. That's more my style. I wasn't too sure about more of like the full coverage, but I was like, I need to try it. Like, it has this Shape Tape name in it, so that way, you know, it's like that vibe where it's just really nice and smooth on the skin, right? Sure enough, I was taking a look over at the website. First of all, can we talk about how many different shades this product comes in? I know sometimes that can feel really overwhelming, but focus on, you know, are you more of the tone of anywhere from fair to espresso, right? That's your range. And then you can find your undertone. And if you ever need help with that, feel free to reach out. But what I always do when somebody asks me for my thoughts on a foundation match, I try to give you a couple of suggestions because in my personal experience, some women like to wear their foundation a little bit more on the darker side, and some like to wear it a little bit more on the lighter side. I would say I typically lean towards the lighter side, but that's why I give you options, is because I know that, you know, everyone wears their foundation a little bit differently, but I'm always here to help kind of point you in the somewhat right direction. Okay, so let's talk about the ingredients of this product. First of all, apple fruit extract. It's rich in antioxidants and it helps protect against free radicals. This is so important, especially with everything that we are exposed to in our environment. Anything that we can do to have makeup in skincare, right? So it's not just you're getting the makeup elements, but you're also getting those skincare elements. I am all about it, all about it. It also has snow mushroom in it. This is great at helping to hydrate the skin, reduce inflammation, help brighten it, and it also has hyaluronic acid in it. This is really good at helping to hydrate the skin, which in turn is gonna help minimize the look of fine lines and wrinkles. It's also gonna help with firmness and suppleness. Now, what it says is that this is a matte finish, and it's going to really help smooth the texture and blur the appearance of pores, fine lines, and wrinkles. In fact, 100% of participants that tried this product in an independent study said that their pores looked minimized. Yes, please. Like, let's take a look, right? I will say my pores look minimized. Love it. Huge fan. Okay, 100% said it covered dark spots, redness, imperfections. 97% said it helped their skin look smoother, as well as it felt comfortable and gentle to wear on the skin. It doesn't feel like you are wearing heavy makeup, but you're getting that full coverage look. All right. It's supposed to be transfer proof, waterproof, sweat proof. You can wear it with the Shape Tape concealer. And what they recommend doing from an application standpoint is taking 1 or 2 pumps on the back of the hand and then kind of patting it onto the skin using a sponge. I'm not a huge sponge person. I am a kabuki brush lover. So that's the technique that I'm going to use to apply this product. But let's get into that now so you can see my technique. Again, I'm not a makeup artist, but I just have ways that I like to apply makeup. So just know that's their suggestion, but you don't have to do it that way. All right, let's get into the application. First thing that I do before I apply any foundation that I'm testing, I go with a primer that I know and I love. I have a couple of them right now, surprisingly. One of them is the Smashbox Photo Finish Minimize Pores Primer. Not only is it great at helping to fill in those fine lines and wrinkles, but it's going to help minimize those pores and give you a little bit more of a matte finish, which is totally my jam. I'm going to just take that product, press it into the skin, and then whatever's left, I take it on to the rest of the face, but I mainly focus it right there along the cheeks where my pores tend to look a little bit larger. and then I just take it, press it into the skin the rest of the way. Now for best results, what I do is I let that primer set for about 5 minutes or so before I go in with my foundation, so I'll be back. Now I'm gonna go in with this foundation. Anytime that I'm using a brand new bottle of foundation, I make sure that I shake it up really, really well, because what happens is it's sitting in the distribution center. It may be sitting while it's in transit to you, so you wanna make sure that you mix that up really, really well. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take some of that product onto the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna just take it and I'm gonna tap it onto the skin. And then I will use my unique kabuki brush to blend it in. So this brush, I love to use it for blending in all of my different foundations. I just feel like it works, brushes work best for me. Some people really like sponges. Some people like using their hands. I personally like a good brush. This one from Unique, I have gotten multiple of. I try to take really good care of my brushes, but especially if you're wearing foundation as much as I do, then you sometimes will go through them relatively quickly, even if you're, like I said, maintaining those brushes. But you can see this foundation going onto the skin so nicely. Look at that coverage, really nice full coverage, blended out really well. Let's get my handy mirror and look up a little bit closer here. So yes, really smooth on the face. I'd say medium coverage. You can still see a couple of dark spots on my face here, but it's not as bad as it was. I'm much more even on the face, and it really is sitting on the skin so nicely. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and set this quickly with the Tarte Shape Tape Setting Powder. This actually comes in 2 tones, but you don't need a color match because it is technically translucent. But if you have a little bit more of a darker complexion, they do have a darker powder, so that way if you don't necessarily want to use a white powder, it still is translucent for your skin tone, or shade, I guess you could say. But I'm just taking that puff and pressing it into the skin, and then what I like to do is I like to buff it out with my Unique setting powder brush. This is like a loosely packed brush, and this is so great at just taking those setting products and buffing them into the skin. This is gonna help give me a little bit more of a matte finish. And then the other thing that a setting powder does is throughout the day, as your skin produces oils, that can cause your makeup to break down. This helps absorb those oils to kind of prevent that breakdown of the makeup from happening so soon. So a lot of times if I'm doing touch-ups throughout the day, I'm taking my setting powder with me versus like a pressed powder where I'm gonna get more coverage and it could end up looking patchy. I just use a setting powder, and just the formula kind of buffs and blends out any of those imperfections, again, absorbing oils throughout the day. Absolutely love it. You can see this color a little bit on the light side, but all I'm gonna do to warm it up is I'm gonna take some bronzer. So this is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Bronzer. I just have this Bare Minerals brush that I really like to kind of dust on my bronzer and blush. It's very haphazard, but I just really like a very natural look for my bronzer and blush. I don't like it to look super harsh and chiseled, but this is a great pigment. This is the color 400, which is tan. And you can see, again, it's just adding that warmth into the skin. And I'm kind of controlling the placement of, I know it doesn't look like it, but I am controlling the placement of that product to give me the definition in the face that I want it. Again, though, I'm much more of a natural makeup look than anything. This is the Too Faced blush in the color Golden Hour. I love this pink blush. It looks absolutely stunning, especially for the summer months. And again, it's gonna just help warm up this whole makeup look. And now you can see that foundation. One of the things I like to show is just how the foundation wears with other product applied to the face. So again, let's take a look at that mirror and see it blended everything really nicely and evenly. My foundation looks really good. I'll be back at the end of the day to let you know how my makeup actually wore throughout the day. So stay tuned. End of the day, you can definitely see I am oily. Can definitely be mitigated with touching up with setting powder throughout the day. Like I mentioned, today it's very hot, it's humid, there's chances of rain throughout the day. I'm actually getting ready to go outside and walk, hopefully before it starts to rain. The big thing I'm looking for is, do I see any bunching of the product, especially around the eyes where you can typically have those fine lines and wrinkles. And no, I'm not seeing any bunching of the product or the way that the product is wearing. It doesn't look bad. So again, the shininess, that can be mitigated. I'm gonna test this out again tomorrow with another type of primer to see if maybe it's the primer or if that's just how the foundation wears. So stay tuned and I'll be back for a follow-up. Okay, so I have not done a video on this primer yet, but I'm gonna try it because this is a Tarte primer. So I am hoping that because this is a Tarte primer, that the foundation will maybe be a little bit less oily. You know what I mean? Like, I have to imagine that they are using their primer for any kind of testing. So this is the, what is this? This is the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. I got this as part of the Tarte custom kit several months ago. Like I said, I have not had a chance to do a dedicated video on it just yet, but we're gonna try this out with this foundation. So I'm gonna let this set for 5 minutes and then I will be back to show you the foundation application. Stay tuned. So now that I have let that face primer set, I'm gonna go in with the foundation. I'm gonna shake it up and I'm gonna go in again with my kabuki brush. I love using the kabuki brush on these types of foundation products. So I'm gonna just take that and then blend it in. You can always go in with more. I just always suggest starting out with a little bit of product and then you can add more. This is good buildable coverage, right? So if I wanted to get a little bit more coverage in certain areas, it's super easy to do with this product. So for example, I can go in if I just want like a smidge more, on the cheeks, then I can make that happen. Look at that, just gorgeous to blend it into the skin, just really nice coverage. All right, so I will be back. I'm going to do the rest of my face makeup. I'm gonna try to record some additional videos. Once I get it all put together, I'll be back to show you how it sat with that foundation. Stay tuned. Makeup is all on and it looks stunning. Oh, I love it so much. To share with you what I'm wearing on my eyes and my lips. On my eyes, I used these two liquid shadows from Lancome. These are amazing. The first one I used in the outer corner, Desert Sand, and then on the inner corner, Sunburst. These are great everyday liquid shadows, so easy to apply, absolutely love them. Then on the lips, this is the Colourpop So Juicy Lip Color in Vacay mode. It's really close to my natural lip color, love it. Love the shine, love the little bit of the pumping element to help minimize those fine lines on the lips. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, so I'll be back at the end of the day to let you know how my makeup wore throughout the day with this foundation. Stay tuned. Not exactly like end of the day. It's the end of like half the day, but I will say I feel like my foundation wore a lot better today. So this may be one of those situations where it really is going to depend on the primer, but I think that honestly is the case for like every single foundation out there, right? Like depending on how it interacts with the primer, you might get different wear throughout the day. But just like the other day, I'm not getting that bunching and the creasing around the eyes or anywhere where I have fine lines. That to me is the biggest win. I can touch up oiliness, like I said before, with my Tarte Shape Tape setting powder. So there you have it. If you have any questions about the product, don't hesitate to ask. If you like these types of videos where I share with you a single product, I tell you a little bit about it, and I do a couple of different wear tests, give me a thumbs up, let me know that in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, so that way anytime I go live or I post a new video, you're notified. Have a great day. Right, and if you like these types of foundation wear test videos, make sure you go and you watch this one next.